Okay, good morning, everybody. I think we have all of our people. Can you guys hear us? Jenna?
Good morning.
Good morning. I see Southern Indiana. I see Kelly Wyatt.
Lexi.
Lexi Hildebrand. I see Amy in Louisville. Louisville, you guys ready? Here we go.
Here they are.
We're coming in again. Wow, Louisville's got a lot of people. Shoot, I don't know if I can get back a slide. Hold on. Just like a...
Where'd that go? Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, it is 11:03 and we want to honor your time. And also we have a guest speaker coming in today. So we want to make sure that we get through some really cool, fun, informative information with you guys and be ready to have her jump in and share her knowledge with us. So today is everybody ready? Give me a thumbs up in your location if you're ready. I know we lost some links or something this morning. Everybody's coming in. All right.
I think I saw one thumb.
I saw Jenna's thumb. I see two of Lexi's thumbs. Awesome. Awesome. Okay, you guys, I just want to start this meeting. We did not do this last month, and somebody asked me about this.
A travesty.
Winner chicken dinner. We are going to do our drawing. And so how this works is if you, anytime during the meeting today, you want to make a social post, you want to check in at your market center, and you can either tag me in the post or you can just comment underneath your post with my name so that I get a notification and can find it. And you can share any specific data, stats. You can just say, I love real estate. It doesn't really matter to us what you post. We just want you to share some great information. We've got, like I shared before, we're going to be going through a study of top producers. So Gary Keller's top 200 mastermind. We've got some really great data from that we're going to get to share with you. And then at about 1:30, the amazing Emily Baker, who I personally think is the best, if not one of the top 3 MAPS coaches in our ecosystem.
Crushing it.
She, I think she took about 280 listings in a year when she was an agent or in an agent support capacity. So she's going to share some really, really great information around listings, acquiring listings, listing lead gen, and what we can be focusing on in this market. So we've got a great call scheduled. Yet at any point in the call, make a post, tag me in it, and one winner is going to get either a private lunch with Bo or I, not in March. Sorry, I didn't change that. We'll do that in the next 30 days, but a private
March
lunch
of next year
with Bo and
I need
I.
a little buffer.
Or you can do a $100 Visa gift card or a DoorDash credit, whichever one you prefer. We're totally okay with that.
That hurts my feelings just a little bit if you choose the cash. However, I'm okay. I'm okay. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine.
We'll be good. Whatever works for you. So we're going to jump right in today. We've had some sound things, so we're not going to do bucket fills this week. We're going to jump right into Gary's notepad. And so every single month, Gary, they send this out to the leadership with our company, yet I get so much out of this. I just feel like there's always gold nuggets in it for all of us. And so you guys will get your slide deck. You can click the QR code to download a copy of this, hang it over your desk if it's impactful for you. But I am going to have Bo read it.
Yeah.
And we really love this one. So just tune in with us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Let me jump in here, and I'll throw a couple things out there that land for me. You know, it's just if it's amazing every time I read something like this from Gary, it hits me at a time in my life, or maybe it's just the fact that I'm focusing here, or he's asking some great questions. But it always seems to be extremely relevant. So it's 5:30 a.m., right? As he starts, he's talking about intentionality. He said, I'm lying here thinking about how we live our lives. I've always been fascinated by why some people outlive others. I don't mean in years. I mean in getting the most out of life. I've been honored to ride shotgun with a lot of people over my years, 68 years old as of today. And the one thing that has stood out as a difference maker is this: intentionality over personality. What I see too much is muscle over intention, too much personality over simple intentionality. Too often and here's the thing, Gary will tell you, and I was one of them in my 20s, right? Act on the belief that we can muscle, drive, push, or overwork our way to big achievements. And we mistake all of this for grit. Grit is just commitment to your intentions. When I got out of college, there's no doubt I rode my personality pretty hard. All personality and drive. And it worked until my short-lived marriage ended and my young business was on the ropes. I was in this period that the real me emerged. I figured out how to get the most out of my life through intentionality instead of personality. This hit me hard because I could say a lot of things about me back then, but intentional wouldn't have been a fair description. I was truly all motivation, drive, speed, hours, and personality. The ceiling I hit told me this wasn't going to work for the long term, so I did something really simple. I made a short list of what mattered to me personally and professionally. I created priorities. Personally, it was my faith, family, friends, health, and hobbies. Professionally, it was lead gen, bring value, live in service, and work from a pro forma. I then put in place simple checklists on how to accomplish my goal with each one. My life in some ways became a very clean set of checklists. About this time, someone told me I needed to be more spontaneous, but my response was, no, I don't. I care too much to bet on my personality, so I'm betting on my intentionality. And time's proven me correct. When you want something, be intentional and don't simply rely on your natural personality. Our personalities have ceilings, our intentions don't. Let me read that again. Our personalities have ceilings, our intentions don't. An intentional life is a life lived by simple priorities and simple steps to achieve them. Amidst all the podcasts and books, the truth remains the same. Be clear about what you want and be clear about what you have to do, even if it's not what you would naturally do. Intentionality means doing what has to be done. I made it to age 68 and can say with total transparency that it was intentionality that got me here with the life I've wanted to live. And now I get to ponder the next chapter in my life and make sure I'm intentional about it. I smile because I know I'll do it. I roll over, hop out of bed, grab Millie, and head to the gym. Gary. We talk about being entrepreneurial. We talk about what comes easy. We talk about doing the things that don't cause us any, don't push us or pull us. Guys, it's all right there in front of you, right? Your personality is only going to take you so far. Your entrepreneurial spirit is only going to take you so far. Some of us have a really high entrepreneurial ceiling where we actually, everything we do, we're pretty good at it, right? Might even be, top 25% of the people in the room. And yet at the end of the day, it's the intentionality that's really going to take you farther, or it's the intentionality that's going to bring you the peace that you desire to have in your life. To take away the restlessness, allow you to go to bed at night because you're intentional about your day. You don't sit up staring at the ceiling. So it hits in a lot of ways. If you don't have this one, put it somewhere, read it off. And all of these are tremendous opportunities to give you a little dose of clarity.
Thank you, Bo.
You betcha.
Yeah. So, I would say share ahas, yet, again, we're having some sound things. So you guys just take a mental note on how that impacts you and maybe share in your chat groups or in your room as we wrap up our call today as one of your takeaways. All right. So we wanted to share with you guys, Gary Keller has a top 200 mastermind, and people travel into Austin each quarter. These are our top individual agents and our top teams, and they do surveys. And those surveys help the company know how to best serve and how to best lead and training, and the things we do at events and all of the rest come from a lot of surveys that go out into the company. So this time they did the survey, and they surveyed, there's a lot of AI in this one, so we'll get to hear some great AI information. But they did a mid-year trend report. And the biggest takeaway that they got from this is the number one response shows that agents are often using AI to virtually stage listings. You guys will see this on another slide coming up, but I want you to take a mental note here. Virtual staging can increase your final sales price by 6 to 10%. The biggest surprise they found in this study is that 28% of the top agents in our company are not using AI in their business at all. And from their perspective, AI isn't optional. So, it's a part of what's happening in our industry all over the place. It's happening in the world around us. So our ability to integrate and implement AI is going to be very, very important.
Here's a piece, right? Because I know it's daunting. Think about it this way. I heard this at Mega Camp. There's a lot of agents. How many agents out there in the world have a Facebook account? Pretty safe to say
hopefully all of them.
Almost all of them. And yet we do see that some agents, top agents, top tier, they take Facebook and they monetize it and they create business opportunities with social media. So that's the same thing that we're going to see with AI. Everyone might use it, and yet there's probably going to be a smaller group that uses it to truly drive their business, build their business, right, and maintain a quality database, better listings, whatever it may be. So just understand, it's not about it being optional, but there is an opportunity to optimize it and really create results. That's my biggest takeaway. And the fact that between first and third, the spread between those two is only 12%, right? So
yeah,
it's still very much a horse race on what they're using AI for.
And you guys will see that the next slide will talk about the two studies and where some differentials are showing up, but I did not read these, and I will. 34% of the top producers are using AI for virtual staging. 25% are using it for database management. 22% are using for property valuation. 11% are using it for lead qualification, and 8% are using it for appointment scheduling. When you guys get your slide deck, you can also click on this QR code, and it's going to give you access to the report that we're going to go through on the next couple of slides. Okay, so again, in May of this year, they did the labs conducted a survey of the top producers, and this survey that we're going to share with you, they're going to compare their report from this May to last November. And what they found is there are 3 challenges that continue to show up in this, and those are leverage, balance, and what balance means is work-life balance, and lead generation. And so they're just watching and reflecting the ongoing tension between scaling your business and maintaining sustainable practices in a shifting market.
Now,
right?
here's and I'm going to jump in here because it's interesting. When we say leverage, some of us tune out a little bit and we think, well, gosh, Bo, I'm an individual agent. I'm selling between, 6 and 8 million, and I'm rolling. I got my hands around everything. And we don't think leverage. We think, gosh, leverage, that's for somebody with a big team. They're going to hire a bunch of admin and everything else like that. Guys, listen, leverage comes from systems, tools, and people. Right. So don't immediately go to the people and think, gee, I got to hire someone. Maybe it's a partnership, right? Maybe it's cost of sale. And yet if it's taking you more time with buyers, more time with sellers, more time to negotiate, hold deals together, you've got to find a leverage somewhere. You've got to insert it somewhere. It might be transaction coordination. But understand this, you've got to find a way. The answer can't simply be to make more. I've got to work more. There are only so many hours in the day, and balance goes right out the window.
Yeah, and I'm just going to read this second paragraph. So while most real estate agents are just beginning to integrate AI, Over 70% of top producing real estate agents say they use AI in their business today. Among agents who leverage work with human talent, compensation remains conservative. And we're going to talk more about that. Team commission models continue to evolve with tiered and flexible structures growing in popularity. You guys, real estate teams, we saw some team functionality and team things evolve during COVID. And what we're seeing today is more people rebuilding and relaunching teams because the team model works really, really well to scale and create leverage in your business.
Yeah. Also, sometimes a little additional support for those individuals that might need it to grow their business.
That's right.
You know, there's a lot of value with teams, and we've got some great teams.
That's right. Yep. So here are our top challenges. So the biggest challenges that our top agents are facing today. Number one is 15% said leverage. 13% said work-life balance, and 12% said lead generation. So those are your top three. 10% said mindset or mental, social media, market forces, and marketing. Only 10% of our top producers said there were challenges in those four areas. Then we have 8% said physical health, and 8% said pricing on their listings is a challenge. And then you had 4% that just fell into other categories. So as you guys are hearing this, I would be thinking through, like, what are the challenges in your business, right? And are you aware of where your challenges are or the opportunities for you to make improvements so you can scale and increase your production?
Again, I'm looking at it, top three, there's a 3% spread between leverage, work-life balance, and lead gen. And all three of those are probably right there together.
Yep. All right, so this slide just shows how the numbers have changed from November of last year to May of this year. And so while these things are still at the top, you'll see here that leverage, for example, actually dropped 19%, and work-life balance went up 2%. Lead generation went up 2%. So in a 6-month window of time, you can kind of see where things have adjusted. Physical health actually dropped 18% as being one of the key challenges of a top producer. So this here on the right just shows where things have changed in the past 6 months. Now, this one I thought was interesting. What's the average duration of a signed buyer representation agreement? So 44% of our top producers said that they get those signed for 6 to 12 months. That's the highest percentage that we see on this graph. Obviously, 39% said that they get those signed for 3 to 6 months, and 10 to 11, I'll just say 11%, around 10% are getting buyer rep agreements for 1 to 3 months. 3% was less than a month, and 3% was more than 12. So you guys can see that 6 to 12 months is going to be your highest, most common buyer rep agreement signed, with 3 to 6 months following right behind.
Quick question. How many of you sitting out there think the duration on the buyer's rep agreements is going to go up? Raise your hand. I can barely see everybody. Anybody think that the average is going to be higher?
I see a couple hands.
Couple hands. Yeah.
Already.
Here's the thing. If we start seeing a reduction in inventory, then guess what? It's going to take longer to find a house. Make these adjustments in your business, right? Inventory levels start to shrink. You're going to need more time. So, you know, don't be the agent that's out there in a market with 6 months worth of inventory, taking a buyer's rep agreement for 3 months, right?
Yeah. All right. So marketing listings, this was just part of the survey. Do you pre-market your listings to your database before submitting them to the MLS? About 66% said no, and yet 34% of top producers are marketing their listings to their database before they hit the MLS. Something to think about. AI usage. Are you using AI in your business today? We've talked about this. 72% of
That's
top
wonderful.
producers are using AI in their business. We already shared that the number one area is virtual staging, right? And only 28% are not using AI in their business today. And then again, this is from that first slide. How are they using it? Here's your percentages. So if you're not using AI and you want to dabble in AI to get started, you may consider virtual staging, play around with that. That's a big popular one. Database management. I have seen so many people ask ChatGPT, what's a 36 touch program to provide value to my database, and it kicks out that program. So that would be, in my mind, an example of database management. It can create emails, it can create text, it can do pop buys, like anything you want integrated, AI can create that for you.
And if you're sitting there and it gives you an answer and there's a few holes in it, ask it again. Start practicing, asking better questions, right? Honing it in, dialing it in, specific to where you are, what you're doing, what your goals are.
Yep. Property valuation is a place to use AI, lead qualification, and appointment setting. We used AI last week. We were talking about we were looking up the difference between Dotloop and DocuSign. Just curious about the functions and features. And what we learned was DocuSign is used by over 1 billion users in multiple industries.
Worldwide, yeah.
Worldwide, while Dotloop is used by less than 500,000, and primarily in the real estate industry, and specifically for agents that need help with deal flow. And so literally, like anything you can imagine, you can find in AI, and then you can ask it, like, how do I use this to grow my business? And it will tell you. So here are some AI tools. You guys have probably seen this. ChatGPT had the highest level of responses in the top producer masterminds. Then you see Canva, which Canva for our market centers and for you guys is releasing here in just about a week and a half. We have Gemini. I'll say quickly about Gemini. Every single Keller Williams agent has Google Suite. That's part of your package. It's part of your monthly investment in technology. And Gemini is a AI platform that connects with Google, and it allows you to access all of those tools in your Google accounts to create AI information and build with it. So that's a cool little function. If you guys didn't know you have it, you have like the pro version of that included in your package. Perplexity, they have goal trackers, Claude, none of these, and Asana. So you guys can kind of see ChatGPT, Canva, and Gemini are the top 3. And then this question came up, do you have any virtual assistants? So remember, leverage was one of the top challenges 6 months ago. 64% of our top agents did not have leverage and with VAs, a virtual assistant, and 36% did. And so what we typically see in best practice model is you hire that EA, that in-person executive assistant, at around 25 to 30 units a year. And then as your business scales up, that person then goes to manage a VA to offset more of the administrative work. So this is just an interesting little tidbit around leverage. And then if they have a VA, what do they do? So most people with VAs are using them for marketing, 33% for marketing, 23% are doing EA type work, which could be database management, social media, that type of stuff. 23% are using VAs for transaction management, and 14% are using them for operations, with 7% using them for lead generation. So you guys, if you didn't know, you can hire VAs that will get on the phone and like call your database and do lead generation for you. So that's an optional thing that some people opt into. And so this I thought was really interesting. We've worked really hard to bring in great leverage for you guys for the TC and listing management. And that shows up here in this report. So a majority of the respondents do pay a transaction coordinator or listing manager and or a COO or lead administrator. Most people did not have that director of sales. So 66% of the top agents are using transaction coordination or a listing manager type of leverage, with 52% having a chief operating officer or a lead administrator, and then 12%, like I shared, with a director of sales. And so this is the last slide in this. It just says that it talks about team splits and structures, and it just says that 58% of the teams have a tiered or graduated split, and 40% have a flat split. Some have people on salary, 2%. So it just shows like there are lots of different ways you can do this, and our top agents are having success doing it multiple different ways. Okay. So we wanted to share with you guys this AI playbook. I imagine we'll be teaching this in the market centers, yet it is available for you. And you guys, again, will be able to click this link, jump into, let me see if I can show this to you real quick. See if it'll log me in here. So when you click that link, it's going to take you into Connect, and Connect is going to basically give you the playbook for AI. We have a training for this, yet this one you can download and kind of walk through it individually or independently. It's got really great resources on what AI is, what it does, understanding it, the different types of AI, the prompts for AI. So if it's an area you really want to grow, you guys can download this playbook immediately and just start educating yourself. Right there is ChatGPT, there's Gemini. So those are some of the ones that we shared with you. This is all right there in your Connect dashboard in your command account. So kind of cool to go through, do it, get an understanding of yourself, and you can educate your AI to have better responses based on how you're wired. And there's some prompts. So, you know, if you guys want to dive into this, I just thought that was a great tool that you can use and implement.
My takeaway there was you can start to train your AI on your personality and a little bit about you before you ever start. You don't just have to start giving it reps. You can actually start that immediately. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. All right. You guys have been waiting on this, so we just wanted to give you an update. If you haven't heard, the Canva integration with Keller Williams is going to have AI functionality that it will be rolling out on September 4th. And I know that they've created amazing content that you'll be able to plug and play for your business. And so everybody's excited about this, and we are so, so close to the rollout of it. Okay, quickly here, you guys, I've been sharing about Leadership Academy and MREA Masters. I am opening up the application for this. There is no cost to these programs. There is a few minor investments that you'll have to make in yourself. And what I mean by that is, and I'll explain the two. Leadership Academy is for any individual agent that's likely capping or above, but really wants to master themselves. They want to focus on limiting beliefs. They have a desire to impact other people with their life. And we'll be leaning on NLP practices. We'll have a book that we'll read every single month. So you'll have to buy your book. And then we're going to do NLP training and coaching skills camp. And so my goal is to select 10 to 12 people for that and just do an intensive in the next 12 to 15 months. Whether we start in October or beginning of the year, that's going to be what that group is about. MREA Masters, it's for people that are ready to build a team. Specifically, they want to get hyper-focused on MREA models. We're going to be doing also leadership books, business books, and books on wealth. And then we'll be attending mega camp or family reunion, and I have an additional training we're going to all go to together. So if you guys are, if anybody's interested in either of these, I am opening the application kind of process, and then I will select 10 to 12 people for each group for the next 12 months or so. So that is open, and I'm very excited to start to dive in with a couple of groups of you. Quickly here, Bold registrations are open. I have here on the slide the first steps for Bold, because in my mind, everybody attends First Steps. That session is 100% free. You get a whole day with a MAPS Bold coach. They're going to come in and pour into you, and we'll encourage you guys to go ahead and get registered for First Steps. And Full Bold, when you're ready, the leadership team will be reaching out to help you get registered for that as well. Yep. With the Bold coach. So I feel like I have to, am I good to pass the slide?
I mean, I can go for about an hour and a half if everybody's got a minute. I mean, it's okay. Don't worry. we've only got a certain amount of time. Okay, honey.
I know. Yeah. You guys, if you have not heard, we have been working, actually, Bo and I started this kind of a passion project 3 or 4 years ago. We started vetting companies to partner with us on this. So we are launching in-house mortgage and title. Yes, we still have affiliates in our locations, yet this was an opportunity to partner with our top agents to be shareholders in something that you own with us and get to actually contribute your business into and receive dividends. So I just wanted to say congrats. I think we had 104 agent partner offerings for shares across our 4 market centers. And if you missed the call for this, get a hold of me. There is a deadline for kind of launch on this, but we've had so many of you jump in, and things are definitely like taking off. So just wanted to put that in front of you.
And the goal with every one of our agents is to bring someone in-house that's going to deliver an incredible experience, not only for you, but also for your clients. At the end of the day, we wake up every single day. What can we do to help you guys grow your business as big as you would like it and your life as big as you would like it? And we all know it starts with great affiliate partners, and we're super excited about that, the whole group.
Yeah, we've seen pro formas that would range between 5,000 a year. We've got some agents in our 4 offices that would earn over 100,000 a year in this title and mortgage JV. So it's really a big deal. And it was put together to support you all and what you're doing in your business and help you make more income on the same business that you're doing. So, okay, you guys, I promised that we were going to have an amazing, amazing speaker. And like I said, in my mind, she is the best, one of the best, probably top 3. I should say top 1, but she's one of the best coaches at MAPS Coaching internationally. And getting time with her is somewhat limited. So I'm very happy to have her here. And so, Emily, you want to, I did a little intro to you earlier, but will you tell us a little bit about you, what you're passionate about, and then you're going to teach. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, hi, everyone. Thanks for having me. My name is Emily Baker. I'm a MAPS executive coach. I have been coaching now for 7 years, and my passion is listings. I truly believe that we've got a list to last, as Gary says, right? Having listings provides additional leads and leverage and is the foundation of building a scalable business. In my career, my best year in a shifted market back in 2014, I signed 287 listings through prospecting. So listings are my jam. All of my listing agents, their first year sold over 100 listings each year consecutively through some of the things that we're going to go over today. So with that being said, we are in a shifted market, right? I don't think that's a surprise. We see that inventory's up, right? Days on market is increasing. We see price reductions are up. Expireds, canceleds, withdrawns are up, right? But here's the good news, y'all. Buyers are still buying every single week on your hot sheets or on the MLS. You see that the pending number is more than 0, which is the good news. So how do we go take our unfair share? How do we list to last? How do we get through and bulletproof our business through the shifted market when it comes to listings? So a few things that I want to start off with is one, it's knowing who you are. There's not one way that anyone succeeds, right? It's like when we go to these trainings or mega agent camp or anything where there's panels, right? There are multiple ways to win. The goal is to figure out how you win. Who are you? How do you like to communicate, right? There are 4 ways to communicate. You have voice to voice, you have face to face, you have digital, and you have print. It's figuring out which of the 1 to 2 ways that you are on your path to mastery and executing. There are typically three types of agents in my experience that I have found that I help people on figuring out who you are, so you understand kind of from a lead lever standpoint. You've got the nurturing agent. The nurturing agent, these are the people, they have, really great relationships. They love face-to-face. They love, loving on their database. That's where you really win through events, through staying consistent communication with your database, social media, and face-to-face meetings. If you love your people and you feel as though you're really good face-to-face, we should be looking at that of who are your allied resources? Who are your professional referral sources? The thing is, y'all, is that in the last 2 years, 75% of sellers are one of three. It's boomers downsizing, seniors transitioning, or families inheriting property. You can pull that all through NAR. Those are the 75%. Now they can look differently, right? Seniors transitioning doesn't always mean they're transitioning to a facility, right? It's very common now for seniors to be moving in with their kids, right? With their boomer children. Boomers downsizing may be upsizing in price, right? Downsizing in property. So it can look a lot of different ways. However, estate planning attorneys, CPAs, your estate planning attorneys, CPAs, and financial planners. Those are the people on the front line. They get a call before an agent. Divorce attorneys, I'm also going to throw that out there because divorce rates, sometime they'll get better, but the percentages are still high. So divorce attorneys are a great way. So if you are a nurturing agent, you love getting face-to-face with people, setting appointments with those professional referral partners, getting face-to-face with your clients, communicating the message of the moment, and really storytelling on social media, that is your play. That's how you win in this market. Then you have the networking agent. Okay, the networking agent is a little bit of both, right? These are like your introverted extroverts, right? You're good, you like face-to-face, you do well with people, but you don't want to be being in front of people all the time is exhausting. And maybe you don't have the sphere or the past clients or the database, and the database conversion numbers, right? The MREA, it says, 10% of your database is converting. Now we're averaging around 6% of the database is converting, right? Because less properties, less people. COVID also kind of shook some of that up. So then you have, again, the networking agent. Networking agents win through geographic farming or demographic farming. So you're farming, you're doing seminars, you're teaching specifically on why you would do something now, right? You always want to have like the cost of not doing business, right? Like the cost of not acting now. How many of us wish that we would have bought more investment properties like 15 years ago? Right? Yeah. The cost of not doing something. So farming, your seminars, and then you can still supplement through database. Mega open houses is another one. So being like really, really intentional. Y'all, I have a client, I've had many like people in our training, but I've had a client who consistently gets a listing a week through an open house. And some of you may be going, what? A listing a week? How does that happen? She literally hires her granddaughter to drop 100 flyers to the neighbors. So if y'all have a high schooler, or a high schooler, or, little 14, 15-year-olds who want, babysit, that want to make extra money, or college kids, or you can do it, but they drop 100 flyers to a specific area. She does social media teasers. She calls the neighborhood around, TCPA compliant, of course. And then she has an ice cream truck at the open house that she negotiated a flat rate of $200. And that ice cream truck is on the flyer. And then what she does is she has them sign in to get their ice cream first. And she has a lender partner there that fields that. And then she walks groups through the property. And she talks to them. She says, hey, are you a neighbor or are you house shopping today? And then she offers a free CMA to the neighbor. Hey, I'd love to tell you what your home value is worth. Why don't you give me your address and I'll send it to you? Every single week, this lady, she sells 70 houses a year. And this is her one thing because she knows that she's a networker. And then the third is, and this is me, is a prospector. Okay, y'all, we are in the prospecting market, and prospecting based businesses are offensive in a shifted market for sure. So prospecting, this is where you're calling, you're mailing, right? You're really, really clear on your messaging. So I'll give you an example of, how I would generate over 1,000 listings, listing appointments a year, just through prospecting. And that is expireds and canceleds. So TCPA, DNC compliant, of course. And so what you're going to do is you're going to differentiate yourself. So the first thing is, a lot of trainings will tell you, hey, you say, hi, my name's Emily and I'm an agent. And, are you still looking to sell your house, or introducing yourself first? What I found through thousands of these calls is when other agents are calling, you want to differentiate yourself, right? You want to get people into curiosity first. So my opening line to an expired or a for sale by owner, fastest source of a business opportunity, or a canceled is ring, ring. Hi, I'm not sure if you can help me or not. Do you happen to own 123 North Main Street by chance? Yeah, who's this? Hey, I know this is random. My name's Emily, and I came across your property. I was searching online for some clients, and I noticed that it came off the market and it hadn't resurfaced yet. And I was curious if you would still entertain an offer. What's the offer? Well, that's a great question. Unfortunately, I haven't seen your property. I just, can see the stuff online. I'm curious, where would you be moving? And I'm just getting them into curiosity, right? I promise you, the first 30 seconds of that call makes or breaks it. If you all just role play, and you can role play with your AI, you can role play with yourself. That's what I used to do. I would just repeat my opening 50 times until I felt like I sounded really curious every single day. And it's just tonality matters. Hey, I'm not sure if you can help me or not. Do you happen to own? The other thing is acknowledge the awkwardness. I always say, I know this is out of the blue, or I know that this is random. They're a stranger. They don't know you. It wasn't like they're answering, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that you're the 10th agent who's called me, right? They're not going to respond that way. The other thing that I would do if I really wanted the listing, if it was in my geographic area that I really, really wanted, is if they didn't answer the phone, I would go right after I went through all my calls, I would go door knock them. I would bring a handwritten card. I had an assistant who literally wrote all my handwritten cards for me. She was a godsend. She just wrote a stack, and all I did was I knock on the door. I'd step back, right? Step back, y'all, we want to be respectful. And I would do the same thing. Except, guess what's in the yard the first day? The sign. So I would use the sign as leverage. So I'd step back, knock on the door, someone would answer. Usually they'd like real timid, right? And I go, hey, I know this is random. My name is Emily. I saw the sign out there. I'm an agent, but I can't find it on my app. Is it still for sale? But Emily, what if there's no sign? Then I'm doing my phone dialogue. Hey, I know this is random. I was in the area. I saw that this one, I noticed that it came off. It hadn't resurfaced. I just didn't know. Okay. Now, don't do this in sketchy areas, okay? and don't do it in areas that you could get shot. Okay? So like what I mean by that is you'll know I'm from the Midwest too. I live in Missouri. So I'm talking about like, I'm not pulling up on a farm or any, do it where it's safe if you really want the listing. However, what I will tell you is that 90% of agents that call do not go to the door. So how are you going to differentiate yourself? Do you really want the listing? If you really wanted the listing, what would you do? Does our audio match our video, right? If we say we want something, do we really want it? And then mail. Send them a piece of mail. Personally, I like to send resumes where it's like a little bit about you. People connect with people. So send a resume. I'd like to apply to get your home sold for top dollar. A little bit about you, send a resume. But the biggest thing, y'all, is first it's who are you, right? As I'm talking through this, do you relate more with a nurturer, a networker, or a prospector? And then based on those lead sources, where do you need, like what model are you going to follow? Who do you know? That's the great thing about our company is that our culture is the best out there. You can call top agents, y'all, who crush it or on stage or in the MREA playbook, and they will pick up and take your call and they love it. And they'll share. So there are people who have gone before you that have crushed it in an arena that you're looking to crush it in. Who are the 3 to 5 people that are doing this at a high level that you can just follow? So you can avoid some of the mistakes, right? Early on, you don't have to do it alone. Just model. Who are we modeling such that the results are mirroring? And then it's being the economist of choice, which is the fundamental part of taking market share. Great agents help their clients make decisions, not pressure their clients to make decisions, help them make decisions. So a lot of times, you'll hear things like, well, I just don't know if it's the right time to sell. Or you have a seller who wants 2021 pricing in 2025. Y'all have any of those? And it's being able to show them, here's what's happening in the market. Here's what's happening nationally. Here's what's happening locally. And here's what's happening in your specific area. When people are clear that now is the time or it's a good decision, they will make decisions. If they're uncertain, they will stay stuck, right? Uncertainty leads to indecisiveness. Certainty leads to decision-making. So if a seller were to say, well, gosh, Emily, I just don't know if now's the time. My response to them would be, well, history tends to repeat itself. We're about 3 the shifted market based on national trends. The market cycles every 7 to 10 years. So here's the good news. The good news is that the Feds just said a week and a half ago, roughly, that they were going to do what? Have 2 rate decreases, right? Well, what happens if they do the rate decreases? Well, maybe there will be more buyers. Yeah, right? How many buyers have we talked to in the last 12 months who had an affordability issue, who said they were waiting on rates? Can we all agree that there are a pool of buyers who are waiting on that? So then what? Do you want to be in the market when that happens, or do you want to wait and see? And authorship is ownership. So it's just asking really great questions in order to tie them down. Any questions, Tara? Is there anything that...
No, it's really good. It's simple. It's the fundamental basics of what to focus on. I love when you said like the messaging matters, right? Being really intentional with your words, even how you position yourself when you knock on the door. It's like everything is planned and done in a way to help move that client or prospect forward, right? So
It's obvious that you've had all these conversations for many, many times, right?
Yeah.
And I talk to a lot of agents. We start talking about dialogues, and the first thing is, hold on now. I don't want to sound scripty, right? I don't want to sound canned and everything else like that. And yet, you know, the reality is the more you do it, the more you own it. I mean, you've said that script 1,000 times, right? You've said that dialogue 1,000 times. And it's the authenticity, right? That comes from getting the reps, putting it into practice, and truly believing it because you get to see the results. So that's a huge takeaway for me. And you know what? It happens every time I listen or I get on a call with someone that's absolutely crushing it and has all of this skill. And I'm there and I've got my pen and I'm ready to write. Here comes the magic. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh, so it's just walking up to the door and knocking on the door and having a conversation. It starts literally, the first door, right, is the freaking car door. We got to get in the car and drive to the house. So
Yeah.
I love that. I just love the authenticity.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, y'all, when I got licensed in 2012, I was so nervous to go knock on a door. I was so nervous to pick up like the phone. If from a real estate perspective, like I was highly, highly scared. Okay. And I will tell you that the more that you do something consistently, the easier it becomes, right?
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's just consistency. And what I'll end on is essentially just a lot of us, we want to win, right? We want to take our unfair share. We want to make $100,000 or $1 million, right? We want to build teams. We want all of these things. And yet our actions don't translate to that. And education without implementation is just entertainment. And there are so many more entertaining things, I promise, on Netflix or Hulu that is better, right? And education with implementation is where you excel. It's where the game changes for you. And it's all just a choice. And in this market, it's tough. It's hard. Anyone who says it's not is full of it, right? And we don't want to get brought down in that mindset of like, oh, it's hard, I can't do it. But some of y'all need to remember that y'all can do it. Real estate is not hard. It's pretty simple. And y'all can you guys can build these mega businesses if you just execute. It's all about execution. And then it's just that consistency. So have a partner or someone from accountability, whether that's a productivity coach, whether that's someone in your market center, whether that's an agent that you're a referral partner with, and just be consistent, because that is where you're going to win. You're going to win in this market when you actually do something and then you do it repeatedly. So that's where I will end in terms of, also, I have a training program called Take More Listings Now, where if you are looking to, if you're not hitting your listing signed goal, meaning you're not taking enough listings, you are probably far off on your closing goal, right? Because again, listings are the offense play in this market, and buyers are the defense play in this market. So if you're looking and going, gosh, okay, I'm a networker, and yet I just don't really know a model that I'm following, or I just really don't know the best way to do this, or that sounds great, how do I do it? We go through all three of those in depth, and the pre-qualification to set you up with a pre-list package with everything, all the templates. So the email templates to the professional referral partners, the dialogues, the mailers, everything that you can think of. It's literally a playbook, and it's in Take More Listings Now. If you have listings or you're going on appointments, they're not converting, you're getting, you're not overcoming the objections, right? Maybe you're not confident in pricing in this market, or setting pricing expectations, or the consultation as a whole, or price adjustment conversations, reductions, right? Or what do I say to a seller as days on market increase, right? That's a conversation I'm having a lot lately. That's convert sellers to closings. When you sign up for both, you get 20% off. The average agent, and I trust that none of you in Tara and Bo's market centers are average, take an additional 4 listings during the 6-week program. So again, if you are committed to execution, not just entertainment, sign up. I'd love to partner with you such that you have a phenomenal Q4. So you the holidays, you need to have money for the holidays, right? Like, let's go.
Love it. Love it. You guys, I know you're all muted. Can you give Emily a hand up in the air where she can see you? Yay, I see cheering. I see cheering at Seven Hills. Emily, thank you for coming and being here. Totally value packed, and we appreciate all that you do.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Emily.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right, guys, last call and last slide. We have our monthly giveaway. So this is your last shot to make a post, right? And share something that you learned out on social media. And we will, at some point today, do a drawing and get that out to the winner.
Come on, John Bentley.
Thank you guys so much. It is 12 o'clock on the dot. Collaborate in your offices if you have a moment, and you guys hopefully got something really valuable from Emily. We will see you in a couple of weeks.